Hi everyone, so it's Howard from Travel with Howard. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to talk about the question that people often ask all about tax and how does tax work if you travel a lot, if you're a digital nomad, if you start a job abroad, how does it all work? So first of all, please do like my Facebook page. You'll get lots of important tips on there too. And do like and subscribe this video as well. So what I would say is the first thing you need to consider is what's your nationality now, where are you resident now, and what are the implications of that? So for example, I know US citizens are, or they have some very strict regulations. I think if you're a US citizen, you do still need to pay tax regardless of in the US, regardless of whether you're abroad, unless you denounce your citizenship. However, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not an immigration advisor or specialist in the US. So you would need to check that, use a reliable source such as the government website to check that. But that is the first thing, even if you're not a US citizen, to see whether there's any implications for either your nationality or what passports you hold or your residency. So the other thing is if you are in a lucky enough situation where you have two passports or two residences, then you should definitely check whether that has any tax implications for you. So as I said, a good example would be a US citizen with another nationality, but you should always check anyway, regardless of what nationality that passport is, whether that has any implications for you. So I'm normally going on the government website, so I'll put some below, like gov.uk or dfa.ie for Ireland. These sorts of websites would be reliable sources to check. You can also consult a tax advisor where you live. Some governments will have a list of approved ones. Some might have some in your local area that advertise around you. But do check reviews before, or see things from past people who've used them, past clients, before you do just take advice from anyone. Of course, some accountancy firms will also advise you on this. They're happy to do tax advice as well, and they're pretty simple to find. You just Google for firms in your area, and you'll find some. So the next thing is, if you travel a lot, maybe you found a job in another country, you should be asking them what the tax implications are. And it might also depend how long you spend in that country. So what a lot of places do is use the time limit of 183 days in a year. And if you spend more than that, then you are considered tax resident and do need to pay taxes. If you spend less and maybe not, you just pay in your home country. So that's something to consider. Another thing to consider if you do want to move abroad is maybe you could find a job, say, with a company that's international that has an office in both your home country and the place you want to live. So then the advantage to that might be that you could remain employed under your home country, so you don't need any more paperwork like tax IDs and that sort of thing, and then still live and work in the place you want. So a good example of that would be for British or Irish people that want to work in Spain. Maybe you could find a company that has a head office in Britain or Ireland. And in that case, you wouldn't need a social security number in Spain. You might just have some formalities, especially from Ireland being EU, there'll still be some formalities to go through, but you shouldn't encounter too many problems. It is a bit different now that Britain has left the EU, but it's still something that you might want to consider. So what if you're totally like 100% remote? All of your income is done from what you do online that you can do pretty much anywhere. Well, in that case, you do have a few options available to you, depending on what nationalities or residencies you hold. What you should do is contact Zolo. They're very good at sponsoring this video, actually, but they are very good at dealing with your tax. They can, as well as tax, you can also prepare invoices. You can look at your cash flow. they'll automatically send, depending on where you are, will send things to the relevant tax authorities. So for example, if you're in Spain and on the digital nomad visa, they can automatically send you or send your paperwork to the tax office in Spain, as far as I know. Do check that, though it does depend where you are. But they prepare everything for you and make it very easy. They can also reduce your tax liabilities, so you can pay yourself as dividends or salary, depending on what's best for where you are. And they have a few other useful features built in as well. There's a few different plans depending on what you need, what your setup is. And so do have a look at them below for making paperwork a lot easier. They do offer e-residency and bank account in Estonia, which is part of the EU. So you could be an EU e-resident. It doesn't automatically grant you travel rights to the whole of the Union, but it does definitely help having a base there in a fairly low tax member state. So do have a look at the link I'll post below. If you found this video useful, then please do like and subscribe, check out my other videos too, and I'll be back soon with another video.